Oh, hey, welcome, my friends, to another episode of Journal Entry. And this is my time each week. Go over my previous week, what's upcoming, just anything in my brick journey that I feel like talking about each week. I try to keep it every week, and I think I've been doing a decent job. I've been getting closer and closer to my Monday deadline, getting these out every week. And we are fast approaching build season. And before I talk about build season and some of the things that I've been building and getting into this last few weeks, is that Lego threw us a curveball, and I don't know whether it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, at least in the short term. Long term, we shall see what Lego does with this, but it's the new Lego Insiders program. And so the title of this is I'm probably going to throw out there that I'm going to start scanning your manuals because out of nowhere they're probably, I'm assuming this is for kind of tracking, like set tracking data. They're probably trying to figure things out. They have to know that many people recycle their manuals, but many of us hardcore savers, although I do not save boxes, although this one I need to recycle. I recycle all of my boxes, but the manuals I save, I don't recycle them no matter what, whether I have multiples of them or not. And it's a good thing. Finally, those savers and hoarders of the Lego instruction manuals, it may have paid off. So you get 20 insider points, not VIP points. It's called the Lego VIP. Lego has now moved it to an insiders program. I'm going to do another video, so stay tuned later this week for more of a true look at the Lego Insiders program and just kind of me fumbling around talking about it. And I'm going to do some scanning. So this is just a small sample size of some of the manuals that I've got to do some scanning. If you look at it, and if anybody wants to donate their manuals to me, I'll scan them, whatever. Yeah, I've got packets and packets. I mean, the microfighters, essentially what I'm hearing is that a majority, not all, but a majority of sets that are post 2018, which is essentially when I started collecting again, should have the barcode where you just scan it, it'll add it to your collection, and then you get 20 points. If those 20 points don't add up to much, so we're talking, 15, 20 cents, something along those lines. But if you do enough, if you do a couple hundred sets, that might add up to like $20, $30 maybe. I don't know. I'm interested in finding out. And then maybe I'll go to the Lego store for a haul, which would be pretty cool to do a complete haul just based on scanning in stuff that I've already purchased. So that is a nice little bonus. I'm excited about it. And so it should be fun. Check out the video later this week. Other than that, I've been doing a little building. Got my Mace Windu Republic Fighter Tank game on. I did an Eternal set for the first time. This is the Deviant Ambush. Really cool build. I mean, both these builds, and maybe this is a theme. Lego's really getting intricate with their builds. They're not as quick and easy, even though the parts count was down. Like a microfighter takes like 10-15 minutes, and that's 100 parts. These were like 200-300 parts, and it took me 45 minutes. So maybe it's just my skills are really bad. But we got Mace Windu. I don't know, I haven't quite yet. So if you are into the Eternals and just want the figures and not the parts, I will be posting these figures on Mercari at some point, so stay tuned. Other than that, this last week I've been posting a lot of build videos, which I know probably aren't exciting. They are pretty interesting just to sit, listen, me kind of ramble and rant while I'm building. And essentially I'm recording my journey as I build through my collection. My backlog is still pretty huge. I have way too many sets, so I don't have a real need, and I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've really got to go out and get all of the new like Ahsoka sets. And there's even a few others that are out there that I'm still like, I'd love to get the AT-TE before it retires. I don't know, there's some big ones. Maybe scanning sets is going to help me buy some of those sets. That the problem is I'm really looking for more mid-range. I don't know if I'm going to be able to scan enough manuals to get any of the big sets, but either way. And then at some point I'd love to mix in a little castle, and I need to get back to mocks, but again, I wouldn't promise any sort of mock building until football season kicks in. I think that's when I'm going to sit down and spend an hour or two, at a crack, at least a week minimum, on some of either the Tatooine mock. I've got the Mustafar mock. I want to do a Hoth one. I've got some castle stuff that I want to build. I've got some space that I'd like to build too. So there's just a ton. There's a lot to get excited about. Lots of breaking down and sorting to do. Like for this Deviant Ambush, I could have sold the entire set, probably done a little bit better, but the figures have a little bit of value out there on the market. And again, because especially if there's somebody who's just looking to collect the minifigures for the movie and are big fans, maybe some kids. But these parts are really, really unique. Getting dark red, the dark blue, dark blues and stuff like that. Some really, really unique parts. So I'm just going to take these parts and run with it. This would have been a great set to do like a parts draft, because it had even some interesting printed parts that could be used in some different mocks and things like that. So really good week. There's a lot to come. Labor Day is coming up next week, so the good news there is that I'm not traveling, so I'm hoping to at least have one day where I can sit down and do some building, whether it's an evening or during the day if it's really hot, something like that. I think we do have a few things going on, but hopefully nothing too crazy. So other than that, I just wanted to give my daughter a big shout out. She had her first cross-country meet, so she's following in my running footsteps a little bit, although it's her own path. She's making all the decisions, and congrats to her. She did so well. I mean, she crushed her PR by at least a minute, and had fun. It just is so great to see her competing and actually enjoying it, having fun. The camaraderie on the cross-country team is just absolutely fantastic. So kudos to her. And then congrats to my son. He's starting middle school. So she's starting high school. He's starting middle school. I can't believe I have a middle schooler and a high schooler now in the household. So they're all getting grown up too fast. And then there's Remy. He'll be there. He's beside me right now. He's taking a quick little nap. And he's now over a year, which is really amazing to think about. So it's crazy how a couple years, things just change so fast. It blinks before you know it. More Lego sets get released. Before you know it, Lego changes the programs. Before you know it, your kids are off to high school, go from elementary to middle school to high school, and then they're off in college, and then you wonder where the time went. Essentially, a lot of the things I'm doing is kind of setting up, because I know the inevitable will be coming. And I was even thinking about that the other day, like, what the heck am I going to do, like, once the kids are completely out of the house? Maybe I'll be running, maybe not, but I'll probably be doing a lot of pickleball and a lot of building for sure. So with that is all for this episode of Journal Entry. Topic is, and let me know in the comments, did you save your manuals? Are you one of the few lucky ones like me who saved everything and are now just going to be like a scan fest? I've heard of a lot of folks during the Ahsoka show. Why did I almost miss before I leave you. I thought the Ahsoka series beginning was great. Not like phenomenal. I'm not jumping out of my seat. I get it. You can't just, maybe bring like the most amazing. It's really hard to like shock the world and be amazing. I thought it was really cool. There were some kind of dead spots. There's some characters where I'm not connecting with completely. Like, for example, Hera Syndulla. She's such a cool character, but then I just didn't vibe it. And it may just be kind of where we're at in the series, that her character is just kind of like running around being kind of boring. And maybe her character will get featured in a complete episode. I think they kind of bounced around a little too much. There are some super cool characters with the the dark side. Well, they're dark Force users, but they're not necessarily Sith. Some really, really neat things happening in the Ahsoka series, so I won't give away any sort of major spoilers. Just tell you to go watch it. If you haven't watched, my vibe on Ahsoka is that it was really Phantom Menace and Rebels with some smatterings of other. You could just tell there was like other things that they were trying to incorporate. I think maybe that's part of it too, is the style was a little weird and maybe just something I'm not completely used to. I really do think there are some. They really set things up for some pretty interesting things. I mean, we all know what's coming, right? Like Thrawn and other things. So it's just one of those things. I'd love to have a few moments where I just jump out of my chair. Like I feel The Mandalorian had a few of those jump out of chair moments. Like, for example, Season 2, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, when Luke Skywalker shows up, that was kind of one of those things where it broke the internet almost. I think that's key. You need to do that. And then the other one was just, well, you knew Ahsoka was coming. That was just fantastic. Seeing her in live action, that was amazing when they revealed that in Mandalorian. And then the other one, it's escaping me. When Cad Bane showed up, like literally as soon as like the music started playing and they panned off into the distance, and everybody knew that Cad Bane was gonna come, because there was just isn't really rumors that he was gonna be in the show, but you just knew they had to do something really cool in Mandalorian. Well, I guess it was Book of Boba that kind of showed him off. That was just something where you just knew it was gonna come. And I was just cheering like crazy because he's such a cool character in both the Clone Wars. I don't know if he was in Rebels, but he was for sure in Clone Wars. So with that, I'm finally going to put an end to this week's journal entry. Next week, maybe we'll talk more about Ahsoka and what's happening there. And hopefully then I will have scanned and maybe done a Lego haul that's coming up, and I can kind of show that off. So with that, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next week on Journal Entry. Bye for now.